Despite Dan Ashworth and Omar Barada being on gardening leave, INEOS are already set to get to transfer business. They already want to get to work. They already want to get things done, sending Murtough to Saudi Arabia to sell some players. But now Murtough is in Barcelona. What is he discussing? Frankie de Jong? Any deals for any Barcelona players? Is it Manchester United sales? What could it be? We're going to talk about all the news on what Murtough's doing right now, what INEOS are doing right now, and their plan to get players in quick this transfer window, but more importantly, get players offloaded, as well as a few other Manchester United stories that have gone about the future of players, the manager, INEOS's official stance on tenor coming in from Tier 1 source, and more. So please do hit the like button. Of course, subscribe down below if you're new, and let's get into it. There's loads of videos and photos of John Murtough and Matt Harvgreaves in Barcelona today, where they met Barcelona director Deco, but there was also two agents from a CAA-based CAA-based agents as well. Now, is anyone at Barcelona represented by CAA agents? I'm not 100% sure. I believe they represent Varane. Greenwood is unrepresented / represented by his father, so it could be to do with that. I believe this meeting, before I get into what this meeting is allegedly about, I believe personally myself, from the info that I know, this meeting to be about sales. Man United went to Saudi Arabia. John Murtough went to Saudi Arabia about a month ago. Sancho, Anthony, Varane, Casemiro said, look, these players are up for sale. Man United have made it clear to other clubs they've got a lot of players up for sale. I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to negotiate something with Barcelona, saying, look, we need to sell Greenwood. There's pure FFP profit. We know from Fabrizio Romano yesterday that Man United and Ratcliffe have basically thought, selling Greenwood might be the best option because of FFP profit. Now, what was actually said? They said during the meetings with John Murtough and Deco, several names were put on the table from both sides, and Greenwood could be one of them. It looks like Man United and Barcelona have had a big conversation with Barcelona about, names from both sides. Could that be Varane? Actually, probably not, because he played for Real Madrid. But I think Greenwood is the most notable one. From what I've heard, though, that a lot of the Barcelona links to Greenwood have been PR, and that Atletico Madrid was the one Spanish club most interested. But he does kind of give off Barcelona player vibes. I can see Barcelona wanting Greenwood. And I think a few names will be discussed. And it was said that multiple sources report that there were talks over Mason Greenwood, and top journalists did say that Man United have come to the decision to probably sell Greenwood. It was said that Jim Ratcliffe's likely decision is to sell Greenwood. He's seen as pure profit. Man United can get money for him. What Man United can do in the summer in terms of who we can buy depends on who we sell. A lot of our players are going to be difficult to sell because a lot of people aren't going to want a lot of our players, and a lot of our players are going to be hard to make money for. Greenwood's got 1 year left on his contract. It could be a bit of hassle bringing him back. The media attention, it could cause sort of unwanted drama bringing him back at United, because some players aren't comfortable with it, some fans aren't comfortable with it. INEOS might say, you know what, let's not take the risk, let's not bring him back. This is one of the few players we can actually sell because he's young, he's wanted, he's good. Let's get money for him, because the better we sell, the better we buy. And the most important thing for me this window is we've got to sell, and we've got to sell efficiently quick, because if we can sell efficiently quick, we can buy better. And Fabrizio Romano and a lot of top sources are saying that INEOS are kind of swaying to the way of selling Greenwood, and that's sort of almost been decided. It's not confirmed he's leaving, but it looks like INEOS have said, look, let's sell Greenwood at the end of the season. There was also a report here that said that the CEA don't represent any Barcelona players, so it could be regarding Mason Greenwood, who has no official representation in terms of this Murtough Barcelona meeting. Mick did say that Mason Greenwood is represented by his father, but we know that Mason Greenwood is looking for, well, we don't know that. There are reports that Mason Greenwood is looking for new representation or potentially an agent, but apparently one of the guys there represents Varane and Juventus centre-back Gleison Bremer, who we've been linked to as well. So it might not just be a conversation about Man United and Barcelona. The agents might be there talking with Man United and Barcelona reps about potentially the Juventus centre-back. I wouldn't be surprised if it's sort of a meeting that isn't just about Man United and Barcelona players, but potentially players that obviously the CAA represent. I don't know if we'd be discussing Varane, just because I don't see him going to Barcelona, but maybe we're discussing him in terms of Saudi, his exit, but then it looks like he's going to leave United on a free because he hasn't signed a new deal, which means he just walks off for free, which means we don't get money for him. So I don't know if anything really there is to do with Varane, but yeah, I think for me, got nothing to do with De Jong. I reckon it's to do with Man United trying to sell players. I reckon it's to do with sort of the agents talking about players that Man United and Barcelona can buy. I think it's something to do with that. And what we do know, and what I do want to get into, and more importantly, is I'm happy this meeting has taken place because INEOS want to get stuff done quick. John Murtough is flying off to Saudi Arabia. John Murtough is flying off to Barcelona. Whether these meetings are massive meetings, whether much goes down in these meetings, we don't know. There might not be much going down in these meetings. But for me, the fact that these meetings are happening when they weren't happening a year ago, they weren't happening 2 years ago, the fact that there's lots of conversations going on, that we know that Murtough's gone to Saudi to discuss selling players, he's meeting with Barcelona reps, he's doing work, because Murtough will be here until we can bring in Dan Ashraf and Omar Barada. There's nothing INEOS can do about that. And INEOS are thinking, well, we'll take advantage of him while he's here, while this isn't. And it was actually a report that came out today that INEOS felt sorry for Murtough because he's sort of doing a role that he shouldn't be doing because he's not got no experience for that role beforehand, which just shows poor management by the Glazers. But I like that something's happening. It might not be massive. It might just be, look, let's have a conversation. Greenwood's on the table. Greenwood's for sale. How much would you be willing to pay Greenwood for? They might say 35 million. They might say, cool, come summer, let's have a conversation about Greenwood. It might be a doubt it's about Frankie de Jong, a doubt it's about us buying a Barcelona player. But I like that we're doing work. It's very obvious that behind the scenes, they're working, they're thinking, they're looking to act quick. They're being, proactive. That is the word. It feels like we're actually doing stuff because INEOS know that they need to buy 6 players this window. They need a backup left back, they need 2 centre backs, they need a DM, they need a right winger, they need a striker. You could argue they need another right back if Wan-Bissaka goes, they need another winger because Pellistri and Anthony Sancho could go. They might need 2 midfield signings because Amrabat, Erik and Casemiro McTominay could all leave. There's a lot of work to do, and INEOS know that. And to do that, they're going to have to sell big. And I think they're just having conversations and sending John Murtough out there to spread word that this player's for sale because Man United know they need to sell. INEOS know they need to sell. And I wouldn't be surprised if Barada and Ratcliffe are pushing things behind the scenes, pushing ideas behind the scenes. They're obviously pushing to the media to put out multiple reports that this and this player's up for sale and making it clear. The fact that we might let Varane walk for free just says that they want to save any money they can on wages, which is sad because I would not let Varane go. But I like that John Murtough's in Barcelona. We don't know what for. Probably Greenwood, probably to sell players, probably discussions with agents about who CA represent. But the fact that there's stuff going on, there's work being done, we don't see that. And I see that as a positive. And there was a report that they could be having a conversation about the Super League because the Premier League clubs are backing for the Super League. If the Super League happens, it's basically Barcelona and Real Madrid massively profiting off it more than anyone else. Considering how powerful and financially dominant the Premier League is to La Liga, which is the main reason Barcelona want a Super League because they're jealous and Barcelona are kind of skint. I don't think the Premier League clubs are interested in the Super League because the Premier League is becoming the Super League. And if they join the Super League, it just means that because Barcelona and Real Madrid are founders, they just get a load of money. And I think they'll be thinking, well, no, the Premier League's dominant. We don't want to do that. We don't upset fans. United Mapadier said that they spoke about this recently, but it's nice to see evidence. This is in regards to the John Murtough picture. But United are getting on in a serious way in terms of preparing for the summer. They will continue to utilise individuals. They're saying again, INEOS know that they can't bring in Ashworth and Barada to work now, so they're going to utilise what they have, but they're trying to get things done ahead of the summer. They're trying to get the plan in action. I think the Elise links, the Braithwaite links, there's lots of credible transfer links coming out. I said in January and February, we've got to take all the transfer news with a pinch of salt, but the last 2 weeks now INEOS are in and they've settled in. I think there's lots more credible transfer links coming up, and it's clear that Man United want maybe a Hulman or an Amadou Onana. They want a Braithwaite, they want a Todibo, they'll be looking at Antonio Silva, they clearly want Elise, they want a striker. It's sort of an indication of what we want to do. Luckhouse did say this in terms of Hargreaves and Murtough flying to Barcelona. He just said, look, it's routine, it's nothing new, la-di-la-di-da. He said that Murtough and Hargreaves were accompanied by sort of the head of football at Base Soccer Agency as well. I reckon maybe there was conversations going on about potential player sales, potential player buys. And Paul Hurst did say that Mason Greenwood likes Spain and wants to stay in the country in regards to the Greenwood rumours. I personally wouldn't be super surprised if we do sell Greenwood to a Spanish club in the summer. Now, there's a lot of info coming out on Ten Hag's future still, and I'm probably going to do a video deep diving into all of that tomorrow. But it seems that INEOS have a little bit of sympathy for Ten Hag because they know that the biggest issue isn't him, and part of them would be willing to give the manager time. But there is also some reports saying that the decision on Ten Hag could be financial, which I hope is not true. I hope the decision on Ten Hag is based off what INEOS believe is best. Is he going to be the best manager to take us forward? I don't want INEOS to keep Ten Hag for financial reasons. That's something the Glazers would do, or sack Ten Hag for financial reasons. Do you get what I'm saying? I want INEOS' movement and idea on Ten Hag to be genuine. I'd like Ten Hag to be given time, because I think no manager's going to come in and play amazing football. I think Ten Hag could be doing better. I think there's problems and there's tactical issues that Ten Hag needs to fix. But I think bringing in a new manager just doesn't change much when the quality of players on show is quite low. But thank you everyone for watching. Please do hit that like button. Please do subscribe down below if you're new. I will be back tomorrow afternoon with a bit more info and insight. I just wanted to dive into this Murtough story. I will be getting into latest news later. Bye.